Hi everybody, it's Wendy from Cinnamon Sweet Shop. Today I'm going to be making chocolate souffle cupcakes with white chocolate mint cream. The original recipe for this, which is on my website at cinnamonsweetshop.com, is one of my older recipes, and it's not a clean eating recipe, and I still have that recipe up there. But what I'm going to do for this video is modify some of the ingredients just to make it a little less bad for you, as I like to say, or healthier for you, whatever you want to refer to it as. So here's what you will need. White chocolate chopped up into pieces, bittersweet chocolate, some salt, I use sea salt. For sugar, I'm using the coconut palm sugar. Again, you can use regular organic sugar, which is preferred, or just white granulated sugar. Here I have eggs that are separated. We're going to use both the white and the yolks, but we do want them separated. You could either use instant coffee powder or espresso powder, really depends on your preference. I use my Earthbound's vegan buttery sticks. This is not a vegan recipe because it's got eggs in it, but I do find that the Earth Balance or Smart Balance, either brand, is healthier for you. However, you could use unsalted butter. We're going to be using some peppermint extract, vanilla extract, and we're going to need some cream. Now, this is heavy whipping cream. However, if you do want to make it a little less bad for you, you can use some coconut cream as well. We're going to start off making the white chocolate peppermint cream. And there's going to be two ways to make it, depending on if you use the coconut cream or if you used heavy cream. Now, if you use the coconut cream, you want to melt the white chocolate in the microwave at 20-second intervals. Mix it. If it's not completely melted, put it back in for 10-second intervals, and then just add in the coconut cream. You want to simmer your milk and pour it over the white chocolate. And that is going to melt it in itself just by letting it sit there. Whisk it a bit. After the white chocolate's completely melted and totally mixed in with the cream, I'm going to add in the peppermint extract. And this has a very, very strong flavor. Always use pure ingredients, but it has a very strong flavor. You really won't need much, but all of the ingredients are at the website below. I could smell this. That's how strong it is. It has a very strong smell as well. I'm going to go ahead and chill this in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. In a medium-sized saucepan over low heat, we want to melt the chocolate, the butter, and add in the coffee powder. And just whisk this until it's mostly melted. When the chocolate's mostly melted, just remove it from the heat and continue whisking it until it finishes melting. I have the chocolate sitting aside. I'm going to let it cool to lukewarm. Now, in the meantime, we're going to start on the cupcakes. So we want to beat together the egg yolks, the salt, and 3 tablespoons of the sugar. Now I'm going to beat this for about 2 minutes because I want this mixture to come up real thick and pale. Going to add in the vanilla extract and then the lukewarm chocolate. And we're just going to briefly beat it just until it's mixed together. Now I transferred the chocolate into another bowl because I needed to use this bowl again to beat the egg whites. But I did also change the attachment to the beater. We're going to whip these egg whites. Well, they're going to be pretty full when we're done, but right now I just want to whip them to light peaks, and then I'm going to gradually add in the rest of the sugar. We want our peaks firm. Now, how do we know when they're firm? Well, we do the little test here, and if that's sticking up, straight up, it means they're firm enough. I wanted to show you my egg whites. You notice that my whites aren't really very white. They're more of a cocoa color. Not even a cocoa color, they're more of a cream color. And that's because I use the coconut sugar, which is a brown sugar. So if you use a white sugar, of course they're going to come out white. If you use an organic, it'll come out a little bit off-white. I want to fold this into my chocolate, but I'm going to do it in 3 different steps. Just take 1/3 and then just fold it in. One-third more. And the last third of the egg whites. We want to line our cupcake pan with liners. Now, they sell some really nice fancy ones in the cake decorating stores. I don't spend a lot of money on this stuff. This is the cheapest ones I could find. I think they were $1 for 50 cups. To be honest with you, nobody's really going to like the cupcake more because it's in a fancier cupcake liner. So for me, I want to have them be wowed by the chocolate souffle cupcake, not by the cupcake wrapper. I'm using an ice cream scoop for this because I tend to find that the ice cream scoop size is perfect for these cupcakes. You want to fill them about 3/4 of the way up, not totally to the top. And that's pretty much what you get when you use an ice cream scoop. And it's also a lot easier, less messy, at least in my opinion. I got about 8 cupcakes out of this recipe. I want to bake these on 350 degrees about 20 minutes. Now the tops will be dry, puffy, and they may even have a few cracks on the top. That's okay. Here's what they'll look like when they're done baking. You can see they're a bit cracked in the center. They're puffy, they're full. These are going to fall in, and they're falling in as I speak, right after you take them out of the oven. Again, that's supposed to happen. That's okay. That's cool. Now, as you can see, they did sink in a little bit. We're going to put the cream on top. To make the cream, as I said, it has to be refrigerated for 2 hours. Make sure it's very, very cold. Now, for those of you who are using the coconut cream instead of the heavy cream, you just want to quickly whip up your refrigerated cream because that's a thick consistency, so you don't have to whip any air into it. But if you're using the heavy cream, we're going to have to beat this up until it forms stiff peaks. And if it doesn't, if you're whipping it and whipping it, beating it, and it's not forming stiff peaks, if it's not thickening at all, it's because the cream wasn't cold enough. So you're going to have to refrigerate it some more. This is how thick we want this. See how it's holding its shape? If it's easier for you, you could just take a spoon and just dollop a little bit of this cream in the center, or you can make it look a little fancy and use a pastry bag. So in this pastry bag, I am using a Wilton number 121, that's it. It's the closed star tip. In the center of each cupcake, I'm just going to pipe in a little bit of a star. How you finish decorating these is really up to you. You could either use shaved chocolate on top or just use some cinnamon, which is what I'm going to be doing, just to give it a few little sprinkles. Here are your chocolate souffle, white chocolate peppermint filling. For this recipe, for all my other recipes, make sure you go over to my website at cinnamonsweetshop.com. I have it linked below. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and if you like my Cinnamon Sweet Shop logo shirt, or any other logo ware with this logo on it, make sure you check out my Cafe Press store. Again, linked below, also linked on my website. See you next time.